So this week, somebody went quasi-viral on Twitter. Okay, so a guy named Frederick Joseph on Twitter posted, and in the post tagged Airbnb, that he had just arrived at his Airbnb with his little cousin. I don't know how little, but apparently like a kid. And was complaining that there was a lot of inappropriate stuff in the Airbnb. And he posted a series of pictures and some video. And everything, not everything, but the decorations were like stuff me and you would be into. Like a little statue of Baphomet. The kind of like kitschy thrift store oddities.
Yeah.
And like there's like satanic, but like, you know, for most people, I feel like it'd be whatever. There was like a really small picture of like a naked woman. He had like a small statue that looked like a goat fucking a woman. But it was just like a lot of stuff we would have. To anybody, it's just kind of like whatever. He was stating that he wants a refund because like he tried to weasel around it, but because it has satanic stuff. Mm-hmm. In the same, or he had like a series of posts because he was putting pictures in. He kept alluding that he went to the basement and that there was on the ground like a sacrificial ritual altar with like animal skulls. There's some stuff that I feel like I'm like missing a bit, but he got roasted online. It was just people making fun of him. He sounds silly. Airbnb changed their refund policy when COVID happened, because like right when COVID happened and the lockdown started, like everybody was trying to get refunds. So they like,
that makes sense.
People were freaking dumb, like really fucking stupid, bought a shit ton of property to make Airbnbs, putting their whole livelihoods and any income into like renting out a room for a night. So yeah, it's like harder to get refunds now. And I don't think Airbnb would give you a refund because you were afraid.
Your aesthetic isn't the same.
Yeah.
Like,
he was saying it was false advertising. He posted pictures of like these were the pictures that I saw online. Originally, this is like where I said got a little confused. Originally, he had never posted a picture of the altar or whatever, and everybody was roasting him on that. Like, you're going to be afraid of a small Baphomet statue or like a picture of a naked lady or a lot of other just weird art, but you're not going to post the one thing that sounds really interesting.
The biggest piece of the story.
Yeah. So that happens. It's like one of those Twitter things where people roast them. It's funny. It's like with Twitter, something like that comes and goes.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that was funny. And I thought, oh, this would be great for the show because it's like something we'd clearly be into. A writer at Vice interviewed the guy that owns the house. Mm-hmm. Like, I guess on her Twitter before the interview went up, or her piece went up, she's like, guys, I have the dumbest story. Like, you won't believe it. This story is just so dumb. So we talked to the host accused of doing satanic rituals in his Airbnb. A prominent guest, the guy that posted that has like 100,000 followers.
Oh, fuck.
So he was trying to use his like social capital and sway to get like a refund. A prominent guest blasted Airbnb and a host after finding what he described as seemingly satanic items in his Airbnb. The host calls the accusations unsettling and weird. Oh yeah, the way he described it was the guy that made the post, Joseph. He claimed the house's basement had ritualistic markings on the floor.
Nice. Which, from our reviewing, is flatly untrue. They looked like paint. They looked like paint smudges. Nope, that's definitely an altar. You got the candles, got it all chalked out.
Can you prove that it's not ritualistic markings? Didn't think so.
I never really thought we really are in Satanic Panic 2.0.
Oh, yeah.
I never thought it would come back to this. Like, gosh.
It's really weird. And I think that's like, it's indicative of a lot of things happening where we had talked previously about when not just times are tough, but there's like a lot of instability in the world. Mm-hmm. People will latch onto that idea of we have to protect children or rally behind something that's bigger than them. Mm-hmm. And in this case, it's, I guess, because we've become... It's very divisive because we have all become more secular. We have a generation of kids that are going to be way more secular than any other generation. it's just at that point, what do they rally behind? Because if you don't have religion to rally behind,
That's
do you
true.
rally behind nationalism? Do you rally behind, I don't know, liberalism? Who knows? I have no clue what the generation below us will like rally behind.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know too the Satanic Temple doesn't help because they, do the Baphomet unveilings in the different cities, and obviously people don't understand that group whatsoever. It's a completely atheistic organization. It does not believe in the God or in the devil. So I think it's a lot of misunderstandings too, where they're like, oh my God, look, there's a Satanic Temple over here. Look, see guys, I told you. And which that didn't really exist, obviously, in the 80s. So it's kind of, I don't know. It's like we're ramping up. I feel like it's just like it just keeps escalating more and more and more. Like what's going to bust the bubble,
Yeah. What's the next phase?
Yeah.
Unless it dies down, but I don't think with the way things are going, it will ever. Like, one, because of QAnon becoming the new thing. She writes that article. Clearly it's like one of those Vice pieces where it's like, got to put something out for the day. This is funny. The guy that made the original post makes a post after the article goes up and calls the Vice writer and the guy that owns the Airbnb racist for not giving him a black man a voice to voice his opinion. And then he did that thing a lot of people do that really gets under my skin, where he was like, this is shoddy journalism. This isn't real journalism. It's like, yeah, of course it's fucking not. Real journalism doesn't exist. This was just a piece that got thrown out there because she needed to get paid. It's funny. The only reason you're saying this is because you got roasted.
Yeah.
And nobody really backed you up. All the comments were just like, LOL. Just shit like that. So he goes on in like another tweet storm, talking about how they didn't give him a black man a voice. He says that there was, in the neighborhood the Airbnb was in, there were Trump flags everywhere, and the owner of the Airbnb should have told him that there were Trump flags everywhere, which is weird. Because I don't think it's up to an Airbnb owner to be like, hey, there's lots of Trump flags around.
I don't think that needs to be disclosed.
Once again, he kept bringing up the ritualistic altar, and it didn't exist. The author of the Vice article, there are pictures of her online in like a ceremonial robe. Like, it was like a professionally shot picture. So I don't know if she actually does practice something or if it was meant to be goofy. But he's like, oh, she clearly has a bias because she's into like this gothic stuff. Yeah, it's just one of those things this week that I found really funny. Him having to bring his race into it to make them look bad when it's like, dude, just take the L.
Yeah.
Like
just
dude,
give up.
You look stupid. That's your fault. My whole thing, and this is what really got under my skin, is, okay, this guy claims he's not religious. Not buying it, because if you're not religious,
bullshit.
Some decorations wouldn't affect you.
They would not offend you.
But it makes me wonder if it was like, I don't know what he practices. He doesn't say it. I didn't surf his Twitter enough to find out. But if it was other religious iconography, and in this case, this isn't really even like religious iconography, it's decorations.
Yeah.
But like if it was Islamic, Judaic, Christian, whatever, would he have been just as offended?
Right.
There's no way to know because he says he's not religious. My whole thing though is that, so you're just being a bigot. Like, you're uncomfortable if these were, quote, religious decorations, you're just bigoted.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, and I just like I'm like, dude, you can say that they're silencing a black man by not giving you a voice and that it's fake journalism and all this shit. But like, dude, don't throw stones in glass houses, dogs. You're the one that made a post about satanic stuff and satanic markings and, oh man, my little cousin with, maybe it was his little brother, I don't know. Just goofy, man. I don't know. I love when people get roasted like that because there's nothing they can do. And they just double down on it.
Yeah, and the other thing is too, like you said, like technically the Satanic Temple is a non-profit religious organization. That statue is Baphomet, the newer one, I guess, that they designed. But they like that. It's technically no different than having a crucifix up. There's no difference. And if it is an established religious institution, it should be treated equally the same. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't have to be disclosed, but yeah.
Just suck it, dog. Hey there, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can check out the podcast. It's on all the big podcasting apps: iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Pocket Casts. I think that is all the big ones. Anyways, thanks for watching, and leave a comment about Satan. Just anything about Satan. You can just type his name. That would work too.